Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Goodness John, and today we're going to be making an alternate jumpsuit. If this is something you're interested in, please stick with me to the end of the video so we can all make the alternate jumpsuit together. If you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. Please hit the subscribe button, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for your support. Alright then, let's get into the video. So I'm going to be starting with my already cut out fabric. If you're interested in seeing how I cut this, I'm going to link that video to this. So I already cut out the fabric, so I'll be starting with the trouser part of the jumpsuit. So the first thing I'm going to do is to join the midpoint of the trousers. So I'm going to be joining the front by half an inch, and then I'll stop 1 inch before the end of the trouser. So I'll just lock it there and stop the sewing. And then for the back, I'm going to be joining it by 1 inch, and I'm using 1 inch because that's going to be my zip allowance. So I'm going to stop just as I stopped for the front. I'm marking the 1 inch all the way down. Next, I'll mark where my zip allowance is going to stop. So my zip is going to stop 1 inch below the hip length, below my hip length. And then I'll sew all the way up to the zip allowance with the running stitch, that's the long stitch, and then sew from there to where the stitch should stop with normal stitch. So I've just gone and done that. I sewed joined the front together with the normal stitch and joined the back with running stitch all the way to where the zip allowance stops. Next, I'm going to place the front and back together, making sure the midpoints are aligned, and then I'll take my measurements from the midpoint. So my waist is 7.5, so I'll just measure that. Sorry, my waist is 29, which is 7.25. So I'll just measure that, mark that on the side, and do it for the other side. And then I'll mark for the hip as well, marking it from the midpoint at the hip length. When I've marked it, I'll take it to the machine and I'll join it from the waist to the hip all the way down to the bottom of the trouser. I'll join it now. Next thing I'm going to do after joining the sides is to join the inside of the trousers. So I'll take the trousers and take the inside, so the insides, that's the inside legs of both legs of the trousers. I've just done that now. After I do that, the next thing I'm going to do is to open the 1 inch we left at the beginning where we sewed and stopped. I will take that and sew that all the way and join it. And now I'm done with my trousers. I make sure I iron all my seams open so that I have neat finishing. For the top piece, the first thing I'm going to do is use bias to fold around the armhole. So I'll be sewing the bias from the outside, and then I'll fold it inside. So I don't want the seam to show on the outside, so I'll be using hemming gum to seal it inside. So I'll place the bias on the front side of the fabric and then sew that on the front and take the hemming gum, iron it, and you take hemming gum and seal it. So I'll do this for all the pieces, all the four sides. Next is the neck. So I'll take that same bias and sew around the neck from the inside. When I get to the end of the neck, I'll measure the length of my strap, which is 5 inches. So I'll just mark that on the bias. I'll follow the neck. I'm just repeating this. Follow the neck of the back, and then I'll take it from where I mark the 5 inches and start from the neck of the front, and then I'll sew it all the way to the end of the neck of the front. And then when I get to the end, I'll stop there and measure my 5 inches again for the other strap, and then take the back, the second back piece, and start the neck measurement where the 5 inches stop. So the 5 inches is just giving allowance for my strap, and I'm connecting the necks together. So the back and the front, the two back pieces and the one um front piece, and then I'll once sew this together. So I've sewn it. The next thing I'm going to do is to notch it. I've notched this very close to the sewing, and then I'll trim off the excess. So the next thing I'm going to do is to fold the tape over the sewing, over the neck, and then the strap I'll just fold it together. So I'll just join it and then sew it over it. So I'll do this from the back to the front, and then I'll complete that. So this is what it looks like after I've folded the bias down. So the next thing I'm going to do after this is to join the zip allowance. My zip allowance is 1 inch, so I'll measure 1 inch all the way down on the cloth and then sew that with a running stitch to make the back one piece. So I'll join that together, and then after I've joined it together, I'll iron it open. So I use pressing iron to split it open. Next, I'll place the front and the back together and make sure it's balanced, and then I'll take my measurement. So I'll take my waist measurement, which is 14 and half. So I'll measure that and then mark where my 14 and half should be. And then I'll go to the top and take my upper chest measurement. I'll take my upper chest measurement, and after I take my upper chest measurement and mark where the measurement should be, I'll take my bust measurement at the bust measurement line. So that's where my bust should be. So I'll take my bust measurement there and then I'll connect the lines together. After I connect the lines together, I will take it to the sewing machine and join to make it one piece. So I'll just go and join that together. So after joining it, I'll take the pressing iron and iron the seams as well so that I can have a neat finishing. Okay, so I've ironed the front, I've ironed the back. So I'll take the back piece and then measure 1 inch up from the midpoint and then slant it. This is just to avoid the zip bunching and folding at the back. So we'll just take it and trim this from the midpoint, but it's going to connect to the waist measurement. So if the 1 inch is just at the zip line, it doesn't go all the way to the side. So and then I mark the middle. The next thing I'm going to do after that is to join the 2 inch band to the top piece. So this is a 3 inch long rope, half-inch allowance for the top and down. By the time I join it together, it's going to be 2 inches. So I'm going to connect this together. I'm going to join the band to the top with half an inch. And then after I've joined that together, I've ironed it. I'll take the trousers and join with half an inch as well. And then connect it all the way up, starting from the midpoint as well. Okay, I hope this video has been helpful so far. If you have any questions, drop in the comment section. Please like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you're notified whenever I post a new video. After I've joined the front, the top, and the bottom, the next thing I'm going to do is to join the open, split the zip allowance open and connect the zip allowance, and then I'll fold the legs of the trousers to complete the sewing. So I'm going to add accessories to the neck, and this is what my final result looks like. I hope you've been able to follow this video. Thank you all for watching and see you in my next video.